Most glow-ups fail because no one tells you this. They don't fail because you're lazy. They don't fail because you lack discipline. And they don't fail because you can't stay consistent. That narrative is convenient, but it's wrong. Most glow-ups fail because no one ever gives you a structure to follow. Instead, you're given fragments. Change your hair. Upgrade your wardrobe. Act more feminine. Fix your mindset. Visualize your future self. Each suggestion sounds helpful on its own, but no one tells you what order to do these things in. No one explains what actually matters first, and no one tells you what makes change last. So you keep trying and quietly wondering why this keeps happening to you. And if that thought has crossed your mind before, there's a reason for it. Here's what usually happens. You get motivated. You watch glow-up videos. You save inspiration. You make changes on the outside. And for a moment, you feel different. But then life happens. Your confidence dips. Old habits return. And suddenly, you're back at the beginning. This isn't because you did something wrong. It's because you were never given the full picture. And once you see the pattern clearly, everything starts to make sense. This channel exists for one reason: to give you the structure no one explains, not surface level tips, not aesthetic motivation, not change everything at once advice, but a grounded framework for real, lasting transformation. Glow ups don't fail from lack of effort. They fail from lack of strategy. And once you understand that, the entire conversation changes. Lasting change isn't created through bursts of effort. It's created through structure. When change is random, it fades. When it's reactive, it collapses under pressure. And when it's purely aesthetic, it can't hold you up long term. That's why so many glow-ups feel unstable. They're built on energy instead of foundation. Some people glow up during a motivated season and lose it when their life becomes demanding again. Others elevate more slowly, but stay there. The difference isn't personality, it isn't discipline, and it isn't luck. It's whether there's something solid underneath the change. And once you see that clearly, the next step becomes obvious. If a glow up is meant to last, it has to be built on something stable. Every lasting glow up is supported by 3 pillars: not trends, not aesthetics, not motivation. Pillars. When these pillars are built in the correct order, everything stabilizes. Confidence stops feeling fragile. Growth stops feeling exhausting. And change stops feeling temporary. But when even one pillar is missing, things feel shaky. You might look different, but feel the same. And the first pillar is the one almost everyone skips. Not because it isn't important, but because it isn't visible. Pillar 1 is identity. This has nothing to do with how you look on the outside. Identity is how you see yourself when no one is watching. It's what you tolerate, what you normalize, and what you believe you deserve. If your identity hasn't shifted, every external change will be temporary. You can dress like her, act like her, even be treated like her. But if your self-concept stays the same, the old version always pulls you back. That's why this pillar comes first. Because you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall back to the level of your identity. Identity is clarity. It's knowing who you are becoming and who you are no longer willing to be. It's the standards you live by, not just the ones you talk about. When identity shifts, decisions change. You stop negotiating with your potential. You stop forcing motivation, and you stop abandoning yourself, because alignment replaces willpower. And once alignment is there, something subtle but powerful happens. You start wanting your environment, your habits, and your life to reflect who you're becoming. That's the signal that it's time for the second pillar. Pillar 2 is structure. This is where most glow-ups either stabilize or collapse. Structure is what supports you on days when motivation disappears. It's your routines, your boundaries, and your daily systems. Motivation fades. Structure remains. Without structure, growth relies on energy, and energy is inconsistent. With structure, progress becomes predictable. This is the difference between glowing up once and staying elevated long term. Structure is not about rigidity, it's about protection. It protects the version of you that you're building from slipping through cracks in your environment. Simple routines, clear boundaries, intentional rhythms. When structure is in place, discipline feels lighter, and only once identity and structure are solid does the final pillar truly work. Pillar 3 is expression, your style, your presence, your outward glow. This is the part everyone wants to start with. But expression without identity and structure is just a costume. When the first two pillars are solid, expression becomes effortless. And that's why order matters. Because when you build identity first, then structure, then expression, your glow up stops being something you manage. It becomes who you are. This channel exists to guide you through that process, step by step. You were never behind. You were just never given the blueprint. Let's pause and ground this. A proper glow up is not about doing more. It's about building in the right order. First, identity, who you are, what you tolerate, what you believe you're worthy of. Second, structure, the routines and systems that protect that identity. And third, expression, how all of that shows up in the world. When people skip the first two, expression collapses. But when identity and structure are solid, expression becomes effortless. This is the blueprint. If this video felt grounding instead of overwhelming, that's intentional. You were never behind. You were never broken. You were never incapable. You were just trying to build without a foundation. This channel exists to help you build, slowly, intentionally, and correctly, not to rush you, not to pressure you, not to turn growth into performance, but to guide you into a version of yourself that feels stable, confident, and aligned. This isn't a quick fix. It's a foundation. And once it's built, everything else rises naturally. Welcome to the Glow Up Blueprint.